Hi guys, welcome to weekly travel updates. Me without lipstick on. Can you believe that? Okay, well, it is November 10th. It's my birthday week and lots is going on this week. I have to tell you a few things. AMTRAK is having a huge sale this week only, and it ends on my birthday, November 13th. And the next thing is that Sandals wants to do a private sale for us. So send me your email address so that I can send you an invitation. I'm going to jump in and share my screen because for some reason tonight, I couldn't make this next picture show. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Here we go. So, oh my goodness, you don't need to see all that. Well, I do not know how to get rid of the stuff on the left. Anyway, all right, well, I'm just going to tell you. So I told you about the exclusive Sandals birthday sale and that the AMTRAK is giving 30% off, guys. 30%, that's pretty big. And that it's this week. You can book it all the way until next fall this time. And then we're going to talk about the ever-present government shutdown and how it hurt travel this week, along with a new report out that on the Carnival horizon, an 18-year-old was found dead on Saturday. And it doesn't say accidental death. And the FBI boarded the ship as soon as it returned to port. So that's kind of how our plan is going to go this week. And I think, oh, I didn't know I could share it right there. Well, cool. Well, I could see it on the other screen, but you couldn't. Anyway, in November, I decided that I was ordering some things for our January cruise. And I decided that after 35 years, it was time for a logo update, and I want your opinion. This is what I came up with because I love the colors and the compass and the cruise ship and the air. And so I just want to know your opinion. You can see at the top left is our original logo that I designed way back in 1990. And then this is the new design. And I would love to know your opinion if you would be willing to share it with us. Well, besides the government shutdown, oh my goodness, where are my notes? Okay, so I was preparing the top 40 airports, just so you know. I mean, if you're a travel agent, we're avoiding these. LA, Chicago, Atlanta, anything in New York if you can. And there's sometimes that we can't, but this was what I was going to share with you tonight. And then it looks like we may have avoided a bigger mess because just this weekend alone, 2,900 flights were canceled on Saturday. On Sunday, I'm sorry. And today, over 1,800 flights were canceled. But by Thanksgiving, they're telling us by Thanksgiving, we should have something back in place with the government shutdown. And you will know that the air traffic controllers and the TSA workers at the airport, since it is such a big deal to Americans, that will be one of the first things that they explore and get back up and running. Well, if you were around last weekend, we talked about how Jamaica is struggling. and how proud I was that Billy Graham, or Franklin Graham's um, ministry, Samaritan's Purse, was one of the very first flights out. Well, Carnival and Royal Caribbean announced this week they both committed $1 million to the Jamaican recovery effort. Realize a lot of it is still in recovery, so it's really a struggle. But nearly half a dozen cruise ships have stopped this week with supplies, and while no ports are open yet for passengers, they are letting these big ships port because they're unloading large supplies of food and water, which is greatly needed. Well, where the ports are not open, but all right, so the storm came into the south side. So from this side of the map, it was the winds that whipped and did such destruction from Montego Bay, Ocho Rios, Falmouth. The numbers 1, 2, and 3 along the top of the map, those are the ports that they're accepting the assistance vehicles right now. And those will be the first ports to open. I think Kingston has a long ways to go. It will be a while. Well, Virgin Voyages did the Brilliant Ladies inaugural announcement this weekend, and Matthew McConaughey and his wife are the godparents. And instead of a bottle of champagne burst on the side of the ship, it was a bottle of Matthew McConaughey's own. I guess I didn't realize that he did this, but they produce tequila. So this is his own tequila, and they burst it on the side of the ship. Sounded like it was pretty exciting. Well, this month is also in recognition of Native Americans Heritage Month. And guys, just think about, here we are at Thanksgiving. And when I was in school, part of us dressed up as pilgrims and part of us dressed up as Native Americans. And then we all came with what we would bring to the table. So just be aware and think about that. The North Carolina put this picture out, and I just thought, man, that is really a beautiful picture for the month. In other news this week, the Star Princess did their inaugural sailing. That was Matthew McConaughey's. For some reason, I was thinking that I told you he did Virgin Voyages, but I hope not. And don't miss the new float that is brand new this year for Macy's Day Parade. And that's going to be the Holland American Cruise Line's float for Alaska. I saw the previews of it, and it looks phenomenal. And one more bit of cruise news, because I have some friends who are sailing, and they're sailing into Bimini. I want to know your opinion about your reboarding of the ship. One of the guys that I follow, I was thinking about doing a Virgin Voyages group next year. And one of the guys that I follow just got off of a Virgin Voyage, and they said that in Bimini and Key West, that their wait times to get back on board ship were up to 2 hours. They personally waited an hour to get in on Key West and an hour and 20 minutes for Bimini. But some of his group waited up to 2 hours to get back on board ship. And they were also told that in Bimini, that there is no peer service. Like if you have a challenge walking, and it's quite a long pier. If you have a challenge walking, there is no wheelchair or, like golf cart service. So be aware of that. Wear your walking shoes. And I want to know, when you get back, if you saw that same thing on the ship that you're on. Well, guys, before I close, because my battery is just about to go dead, here is the contact information for me. I had people say, well, how can we reach you now if you're not in the office? Well, here is my personal cell phone. You only get it at the end of my videos. So if you get it, it's okay. I will know that you watched one of my YouTubes. Realize that we have contracted international air. We're working with some mission groups next year. Thank you, Lord. That's one of our greatest passions. But escorted and hosted group trips are kind of my specialty. I'm looking at Alaska for 2027 for sure, and possibly for September of 2026. I love multi-generational family groups, and we have several that are sailing on cruise groups this year. It's very exciting, both for me that I get to share some of my expertise, and I save you money because when you get into port, I'll be happy to share what we do when we go into port, so that not always are you going to be paying those high excursion dollars. And I can send you on the path less traveled sometimes. Anyway, I'm Melinda Fargus. And remember, without a travel agent, you are on your own. I'm here to serve you. Reach out to me. This is my phone number. My email is mcf4action@gmail.com. And I would be honored to serve you. Well, thanks, guys. I hope you have a great week. I am going to have a terrific week because it's my birthday week. Anyway, reach out. Let me know what's going on in your world. And happy Thanksgiving in advance. I'm planning on doing a show next week, but we have a lot going on next week. A house full of people coming. So have a great week. I'm very thankful for you. And remember, without a travel agent, you are on your own. See ya. Good night.